Hi, I'm Saida Jaffrey. Welcome to the Bridge Podcast. Today we're talking about DSAC, District Student Advisory Committee, which is the longest serving program in the district, at Rialto Unified School District. So let's meet one of the top students of DSAC and also the service department that is running it. Welcome to Bridge Podcast. Hi, thank you for being here. Of course, Dr. Manuel Burciaga, who is our leader of secondary education, and we'll get more into that. And then we also have Brianna Magaña. And
Hi.
Brianna, hello, is our DSAC student for 2021. I want to, first of all, welcome both of you on the Bridge Podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Dr. Burciaga, I know you're a very busy man, but tell us exactly what you oversee and your position.
Okay, so my official title is Lead Academic Agent of Secondary Innovation, which means that I support and I oversee all the secondary schools here in Rialto Unified. We have 10 secondary schools, we have 5 middle schools, and we have 5 high schools that I oversee. I support all of the principals. I help out staff like counseling staff, and obviously I work on supporting all of our teachers that bring the curriculum to all of our students.
And we're really excited because you are also partnering to take the lead from Educational Services to lead DSAC.
Yes.
That's exciting. And speaking of DSAC, hello, Brianna.
Hi, Ms. Joffrey.
She is absolutely no stranger to the Rialto Unified School District. First of all, Brianna, tell us who you are, tell us where you went to school, and tell us your experience being a member of DSAC, which is the District Student Advisory Committee.
Okay, so hi, my name is Brianna. You guys know who I am. I went to Morris Elementary, and then I went to J.Hugh Middle School, and then now I'm at Rialto High School. I'm a senior there. As a part of DSAC, I really like it. I did it in my 8th grade year, and I think it was like super amazing. I love being part of kind of a voice for the students back at my home campus. Now that I'm in my senior year, it's really helped a lot, kind of just helping bring back information to the students back at the campus, since they also want to know. A lot of students are interested, so I feel like it's been an amazing program to be in so far.
Now that's wonderful. Now you were in DSAC in 8th grade,
Yes.
and you were DSAC, of course, in 2021 as a senior.
Yes.
And you were one of the few students in 2018, 2019 that had an opportunity to go to San Francisco for the California School Boards Association, earning the Golden Bell. So talk a little bit about, which is a state award. There's the bell right there. And so can you tell us a little bit about that experience as an 8th grader?
I feel like that experience was really cool just because we felt like, I felt really important. Like I was like 14 years old and I felt super important. I felt like it was super cool. It was actually really cool too, seeing how the students kind of like being part of something. We won like the award, and seeing everybody here at like Rialto, like the Rialto district, kind of looking at us and like seeing all the hard work kind of that we put into the program. Also kind of being, I think it was the first year that, or no, it was like the first.
It was the first year that you were in DSAC.
In DSAC, yeah. So that was like really cool too. The first year that I was in it, being able to win an award like that was really, really, really cool and a great experience.
And the award was for equity and access, which basically means when there was a lot of school violence at that time in 2017, 18, and peaking into 19, and it was the District Student Advisory Committee that worked with Dr. Avila and held this symposium, sort of, I guess a conference. And that's when the students had their voices heard. And you were one of the students. And do you remember any of that, or?
I believe I remember when it was like everything was kind of showing on I think it was TV, like where they were showing everything on like the television. And I do remember we had a certain meeting where we all talked about it. I think it was one of our Wednesday meetings where we talked about it, and we all kind of got to share like how we could feel a little bit more safe on campus, if we did or if we didn't feel safe on campus. So it was also, I feel like the fact that we were given the opportunity to talk about all that and share our opinions was very important. So it made us feel like, I feel like it made us feel all extra safe, knowing that they wanted to know more about how we wanted to feel safe, if that makes sense. Yeah,
that does make sense. Thank you, Brianna, and very well stated. And Dr. Burciaga, want to mention that beginning of next school year, how do students such as Brianna participate in DSAC?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm excited to serve this program, which is obviously, as we can see, very successful. And it is a huge responsibility for these leaders. When I say huge responsibility, they're serving about 25,000 students across the district. That's not a light responsibility, right?
So how many, Dr. Burciaga, from middle schools and how many from high schools do we select?
Mrs. Joffrey, we talk to all of the ASB directors from all of the secondary schools, and we choose 2 students from each middle school, and we choose 3 students from each high school.
Excellent. And Brianna, of course, you have the good fortune of being selected at the high school level and also the middle school level. This year, I see that you're wearing a blazer that Dr. Burciaga is going to be getting pretty soon too. We wanted to make sure the students got there first and then we got ours, right? Yeah, it's coming. So talk a little bit about this logo and how, for the first time since 1989, since the inception of DSAC, that logo has come to be.
Yeah, so when we were planning the logo, it was actually I feel like a lot of us had different opinions. It was really hard to find the set logo. But I know we were looking for something that made the blazer look, I guess in a way sophisticated, very elegant. We wanted something very, very elegant.
Sophisticated. And you do look sophisticated.
We wanted something really elegant. And we wanted to include that golden kind of color, which is why we did this color. And we wanted to include, I think we said we wanted to include a little bit more blue into the district's colors and logos. I think it looks amazing. I think we did an amazing job. And I think they look super, super cute.
They look awesome. And I know that Dr. Avila was very instrumental in wanting this year's, because he had mentioned, why doesn't DSAC have a logo? Everyone, just about every program in the district has something. So we wanted to make sure that a logo was given to you. And that's the logo that DSAC is going to be using for a while.
And it's really, it's like an honor basically because we chose it. So it's people further DSAC students in the next years are going to have the logo, and I can always look back and be oh well, I was part of that logo. I chose that logo.
Excellent. That's something to be proud of. Now let's cut to the real meat and potato of this, because I know we want to talk about this. Once you're graduating, where are you going after graduation? Where have you been accepted? Where are you heading to for college?
So I got accepted into, I believe it was 7 out of 10 schools that I applied to.
Throw out the names.
I got accepted to UC San Diego, UCR, Cal State San Bernardino, Cal State Fullerton, Cal State San Marcos, CBU, and San Diego State. San Diego State, yes.
Wow. Now, any free rides, any scholarships?
Yes, I got a full ride to UCR.
Oh, yeah. Highlanders.
Yeah, I got a full ride to UCR.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I got a full ride there. And then I also got a lot of financial aid in general, for my schools. San Marcos also offered me 2 scholarships, a Latino scholarship and a teaching scholarship.
Excellent.
So that would cover for a little bit of
so that
expenses.
Is what you want to go into. You want to become a teacher.
Yes, I want to do teaching.
And where do you want to teach?
I want to teach, honestly, I want to come back here. I feel like that's somewhere where I would want to come back to. So
boom. Wonderful.
So wherever I end up going to school, I would just go to school, finish there, and then end up coming back just because I teach here. So I want to teach here. I went to school here. So I feel like that would be really interesting, kind of coming back to where I kind of learned that I wanted to be a teacher.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
That is so awesome. Now, Dr. Burciaga, when she mentioned all the schools, all the universities and colleges that are accepting her, where does DSAC come into that role?
Well, one thing, first of all, is congratulations. That is amazing how many, prestigious and very good schools that you got accepted to. But where DSAC comes is, obviously, you're one of the cream of the crop students in Rialto. You're our leader. So the visibility is high. Always in any events, obviously at graduation, you're there. And I know you have amazing counselors, but we also write letters of recommendation, right? A lot of them come to us and say, hey, can you write me a letter of rec? And I think they're working out. Mm-hmm. One of the things that we are proud of, obviously the networking, when we go to different conferences, there's other districts around the states where other student leaders are there. There's other schools that are there. So I think they have the great opportunity to see this. But Brianna here is probably the perfect example of what we're proud of, what we call that unicorn student. And when I say that unicorn student is successful student in our district,
and well-rounded.
And well-rounded, that is going to go away and do amazing things somewhere else, but wants to come back to our community, right? That is how we
And become a teacher, which is awesome.
And
One of the noblest professions
we make
ever.
An impact, and that I think is going to make so many of your teachers proud, from your elementary, your middle school, your high school, all of us, right? So proud that she is going to give back that way, and it's such an honorable profession. DSAC is impactful in making students like this,
a success. Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, can you give us a little bit about your background, Dr. Burciaga, as well?
Definitely. I grew up in Southern California in Baldwin Park. And what I did is I rebelled and I said, I am going to go out of state and go to Idaho to go to college. And I decided to leave. My first year was amazing. My second year was like, oh my gosh, I want to go home. But it was great experience for me to go to college. Did I always know that I wanted to be in education? No. I'll be completely honest. And that's one thing that I think here in DSAC, we talk to all of our students that there's so many options out there. What you think is going to happen in the future for you might not, but there's something better for you. I thought that I was going to be either a physical therapist and for the elderly in a Spanish-speaking community, or I was going to be an optometrist. I love going to the eye doctor. That's what I love to do.
Really?
Oh yeah, I feel like I'm in an eye doctor office right now. And so, and I had a counselor at college that said, you'd be a great teacher. And I was playing baseball there for that university at the time. And I said, you know what, man?
Now, what position did you play?
I was a catcher.
Oh, okay, great.
I was a catcher. And then I pitched a little bit, but I was mostly a catcher. And she said, you would be an amazing teacher. And it felt good that she said that. And I said, ma'am, at the time, Dr. Hopkins, just give me the classes. And if it wasn't for her guiding me and pushing me, I wouldn't be here where I am today. And so I came back, and started teaching. I taught Spanish. I'll be honest, I taught at the high school level all of my life. Taught for 12 years. And then decided to get into administration. Was an administrator for 9 years at a high school. I became a high school principal. That's my latest role. And then now here I am as a lead academic agent of secondary innovation. And I'm proud to be here. I'll be honest with you. I work with adults all day. That's probably the only thing that I feel like, my goodness, I don't get a chance to see kids like this, but now I do.
You do. You're with DSAC students. DSAC. 23 students, yes, from middle and high school together.
It's a bright spot in my calendar that I get to see them and see that youth, that energy that we feed off of, that keeps us young forever, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Wow, well said. Well, thank you, Dr. Burciaga. And then where did you get your doctorate from?
I received my doctorate from the University of Southern California, Fight On. In May of 2017, my dissertation, I don't think it's boring here, okay, was on one-to-one technology implementation while considering teacher self-efficacy.
Oh, wow. That is very detailed.
At the time, it was something that was new. And I'll say this, it did help out the district that I was in during the pandemic because we had to go one-to-one. So I was proud of that. So that's something that I am I was excited to share all of my knowledge because of my dissertation.
Well, excellent. We can learn things about that here in the Rialto Unified as well.
Definitely.
Oh, great. Brianna, I want to make sure that I talk a little bit. We did talk about where you're going to school. We talked about DSAC, but I know you're a very well-rounded person. Lauren Erickson, who is your ASB director, talks very highly of you, and she's a dynamic, one of 5 absolutely dynamic ASB directors that we have in the Rialto Unified School District. What are some other things that you're involved in?
Other than just like academics, I would do AP classes. I took AP class. I took like 7, I think, throughout all my 4 years of high school.
Wow.
I did ASB all my 4 years of high school. I was in the soccer team, the girls soccer team, my freshman and sophomore year. Unfortunately, junior year was COVID. And then senior year, I just had a little bit going on, like with other stuff, so I just wasn't able to do it. I also was in the National Honor Society Club. I was in Student Stopping Cancer Club. And then I also will have a job. So that's what I would do on the side, yeah.
Wow. So you are one busy person.
Yeah.
Now, who's your mom and dad? Give them a shout out for who created this, right?
My mom is Gretel Jara, and my dad is Manuel Magaña, and my little sister is Crystal Magaña.
Okay, now how little is she? Like, is she in school in Rialto Unified?
Yeah, she's a freshman at Rialto High School. She's going to be 15. She's going to be 15, yeah.
Excellent. So we have more Magañas on the
Yeah.
way. That's awesome. Now, you mentioned some things that you've done, for extracurricular and so forth. Did you find it very hard sometimes, because you did keep your grades up? Now, we really encourage students to be involved in campus. How did that help you? Because there are students that have that 4.0 and above, and that's wonderful. And we aim for that. We want that perfection. We want that connection. But do you feel that it's more important for you or for students to be involved on their campus, and why?
I think it's a really good opportunity when you're involved in campus. You get to learn about a lot of other stuff that you can know if you like it or not. You also get to meet a lot of new people, you make connections. That's really important too. You make a lot of connections with other people. I feel like it kind of defines the high school experience, in my opinion. I feel like that's the high school experience, like kind of being like involved and getting to learn about a whole bunch of other stuff. So I feel like it's really important. I feel like other kids should do it too. I had a blast doing it. I was really busy sometimes. Like I didn't have time sometimes for other stuff, but it was really fun. Like it's something that I'm always going to look back at, and I'm going to always like remember it and encourage like my little sister to do it too.
Excellent. Now, I know you mentioned that you played ball in college as well. And how important is it for those of us watching in the audience to tell parents and guardians that it's good to have our students involved, not just in academics, because that's great, but why is it so important for the social emotional to be involved in different extracurricular activities in middle school, in high school, and even up to even at elementary level?
Yes, very important. I think whether it's sports, whether it's clubs, whether it's any leadership positions, and I know that you have to work with a team. We're not always going to get along, right? Sometimes we feel like we're a little bit more passionate than others, or there's vice versa on certain things. But when the mission is the same one, right, it works out. And so I think that's very important when you get these type of experiences now, because that's the real world, right? We're here working as a team, and we have a common goal, right, for our students to fulfill their college and career aspirations, right? And if we stick to that and we work together, that is going to work out. It's going to happen. And so I think the earlier you learn that and you participate, she talked about the networking, and having that social, emotional support with your peers as well, important. Huge impact.
Absolutely. Brianna, we got some information from you. Matthew Peters, who is our scheduler, and he does all the research here, had written down that you were voted proudest knight by her class. What does that mean? Proudest knight at Rialto High School. How do you get voted proudest knight?
So I actually got nominated. I didn't even know I was nominated. It's for the yearbook.
Oh, okay.
I got nominated, and I had no idea I was nominated until I think I came back to school. It was like on a Friday. I came back to school on a Monday, and then I seen that I was on the ballots to vote, for people to vote for me. And proudest knight, as in like they know me because I'm always at the football games, and I'm always encouraging everybody to like, oh my gosh, like yeah, like let's do chants, let's do this, let's do that. Ever since I was a freshman, so I've always been like that one loud person that loves to do.
Well, you were cheer squad too.
Yeah, I was cheering in middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, so everybody kind of like knows me always for I'm like really loud, and I love being enthusiastic and all this stuff. So I feel like that's why they nominated me, and then I ended up winning.
And you won.
Yeah, I won.
Your senior year. You're the proudest knight.
Yeah, so they took a picture of me with some stuff, and then I'm gonna be on the yearbook. So if you guys look at the yearbook, I'll be there on the yearbook.
Excellent. Well, we'll be on the lookout for that. And then also, and I know that Edith Ortiz is our makeup artist for the podcast, but you're a certified makeup artist?
Certified makeup artist, yes.
How did you do that with a laundry list of other things that you're doing? And keeping your grades up.
Yeah, so when COVID first hit, there was a lot of time on my hands, and I got really into makeup, but I didn't really think much of it. I was still doing school. So once we got to like summer break, that's when I got a job. I started buying makeup. I kind of started doing makeup, and then I started doing makeup on other people, so kind of taking clients. And then after that, I was like, I kind of want to get something where people can see that I'm fully dedicated to this. I really like doing this. So I took a course actually in West Covina where it was like a 2 to 3 month course where I would go in once a week. So it would be Thursday once a week, and I would get a 4 to 5 hour class, and they would just teach me like from the very basics of makeup to like the very extreme of like makeup, even like sanitizing. It was just how to do makeup. It was like sanitizing, how to build clientele, how to build a portfolio, how to do this, how to do that. And yeah, so I became a certified makeup artist. So that's really cool too, because it opened a lot of doors.
Do you practice on your mom, your sister?
I just take friends, my mom, my sister, my friends. I also practice it on myself. I record videos and I upload them to my Instagram, my personal Instagram, where I get like views and like partnerships with brands and stuff like that.
You are like an entrepreneur.
Yeah, so that's
I
another
love
thing
this.
that I like doing.
She's
Yeah.
an influencer.
I know, you're like an influencer,
That's
a good
right.
one. That's excellent. And I know that when I was speaking to Ricardo Carlos, he had mentioned, and we're going to come around on this, and he does our camera and he does the producing and the editing of all this. He was mentioning that one of the great things about having Brianna Magaña, because we're looking at all the students, we'll have more DSAC students on the show, but he had said that in 8th grade, you are so instrumental at Jehu Middle School with talking about school violence that there was actually this decrease and this calmness that you brought back onto your campus, talking to other students about it. And you know, every year is different for us, for every school districts. You know, there's not one year that goes by the same. And so you also, as a senior, aside from being a state recognized student from DSAC, you're also a senior now graduating with a full ride scholarship. And so these are no small tasks, and you're not exactly, 4.9 or 4 point. You're a very well-rounded student is what I'm saying. And obviously your teachers and your counselors and your principals have had a profound effect on you as well as parenting. What would you be able to tell students who might be struggling?
I think that what I could tell students that'd be struggling is that it's okay, it gets better, because I was struggling. I struggled my freshman year, and I struggled a little bit my junior year with the whole pandemic. I struggled a lot. It was really hard to focus, especially when you were learning from online, and you weren't, me as a social person, I wasn't around teachers, staff, students. I think it gets better. You just have to believe in yourself. You have to push forward, and you have to always think about it that it's gonna be worth it at the very end. I know there was times where I was like, oh, is it really worth it? Is it really worth doing this assignment? Is it really worth it? But I mean, I did it. I had my grades up, and I got accepted to a lot of schools, and I'm doing a lot of things that I'm so happy that I'm doing, because I used to look at it back then and be like, oh, I don't know if I'm ever going to get there, So I feel like you should just keep pushing. They should just keep pushing. Talk to people, ask for help. Asking for help is one of the main things. It helped me a lot. Definitely don't be afraid to ask people, because that's what students, even your own friends are there to help you for, staff, administrators, older people, like everything like that, like they can help you out with that. So definitely to keep pushing.
Thank you so much, Brianna. That is so important to know. And on that same note, I do want to ask Dr. Burciaga, what kind of support do we have for students? Because she mentioned you can talk to teachers, you can talk to your peers. What kind of official support do we have for social emotional needs for our students and staff?
Very pertinent question. We do have a large amount of services that we offer for all our students, and not only our students, but we offer for our parents and community as well. So we talk about tier 1 support right in the classroom, where we try to go ahead and find the right intervention for our kids. Now, not all of the time it's academic intervention. Sometimes, like you said, it's social emotional learning. Something is going on, and we offer that with our multi-tiered systems of support that we have here in our district through ed services and through student services, obviously, that we work there. Our counselors are trained for this. We talk about, nobody really wants to talk about the pandemic and what happened, but it did affect our students. It did affect our teachers, right?
And staff throughout, right.
And so we have an allotment of services like Care Solace that is new to our district, that partners up our parents and community to places here that, within the community that can help them out. We have obviously behavior strategists that we have hired. And right now,
so there's so many programs,
and right now,
but you just have to call and ask.
Yeah, we call and ask at services, and we tell the parents. Even we talk about bullying situations, right? We have a form that any parent that's going on, they just fill it out, and it's even anonymous, and we hear about it, and resources will automatically be given to you. And I know sometimes it's not easy to do, and it's not easy to go ahead and call someone. And I'll say this from experience. My parents, Spanish-speaking parents, they didn't want to call a school. they wanted us to handle it. Yes, right,
Yeah.
Brianna?
No, correct. Yeah.
And so I feel that we have such a diverse staff that speaks Spanish, that knows exactly
So
what
call
we can
the
offer.
schools is what we're saying. Yes, call the schools. We're here for you. Yeah.
The sites, call Ed Services. We have resources that can help anyone out. If it doesn't help out the first time, we can go ahead and try something else. We never give up on that. So
Excellent. It's good to know. And Brianna, last question for you. What kind of teacher? You mentioned you wanted to be a teacher in the Rialto Unified School District. That is your long-term goal after you're finished with college. What would you like to teach? English, math, science?
So I actually want to do a little bit of everything. I want to do I want to be an elementary teacher, and then I want to teach English in the middle school or in the high school, and then after that, I want to try a little bit of being a high school counselor.
Wow.
So I want to try a little
There
bit
you
of
go.
everything.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dr. Burciaga. There is just so many opportunities available. All the parents and students or staff have to do is contact Ed Services, and then there is student services that would be handling that situation.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. And thank you, Brianna, for being here with us. We learned so much about you, and on behalf of the entire school district, we wish you great luck. I know you've been waiting to do this, so go ahead. Brianna is now going to ring that bell.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Absolutely. And we look forward to seeing and hearing about wonderful things about your future. So thank you. And I want to thank you for joining us here at the Bridge Podcast. Until next time, we will see you all soon.